वेलकम टू वी लर्न में आपका स्वागत है. We are discussing Management Control System, Session 13, Multinational and Export Organizations. Topics covered are definition of multinational corporations, differences across countries, transfer pricing foreign affiliates of an MNC, exchange rate and management control, different types of exchange rate exposure, control system design issue, special control issues in MNCs. Definition of a multinational corporations. International business scenario में there are times now and then we hear words like global corporations or international corporations and multinational corporations. These terms, they may be used interchangeably and they actually have very subtle differences between them. Now within these, the difference global and multinational corporations, they represent two extreme and international corporations. They fall somewhere between these two. In a global corporation, production facilities which are generally centralized and which are located in one or a few countries, they get the advantage of economies of scale and cost. The products, they are exported from these countries to the others depending on the demand. And on the other hand, when we talk about multinational corporation, here the production facilities, they are located in each country, and every country's operations, they are organized totally independently. But within such independence, there is always a need for integration of the operations of all the local subsidiaries so that there is an overall optimality for the parent company. This optimality could be in terms of the economy or the monetary repatriations, and furthermore to the growth and surplus. Whether an international company, they shall move towards becoming a global company or towards a multinational company, they are dependent on the global pull factors or the regional pull factors. When we talk about the global pull factors, they are stronger. If they are stronger, the company will tend to become a global company. But in case of the regional pull factors, they are stronger. The company will become a multinational company. Now there are certain factors that we need to understand. Some of the global pull factors and some of the regional pull factor. Global pull factors are when there is a strong comparative advantage in the production. It is a global pull factor and the company becomes a global company. When there are high volumes requirement for achieving cost effectiveness. When highly localized craft and skills are used. When there is a very strong fear of nationalization of an industry by a host country government. And lastly, when they are strongly guarded by the technology. These are certain global pull factors which make a company a global company. Whereas there are certain regional pull factors which make a company, multinational company. These are certain very strong restrictions in the movement of raw material. There could be very strong regulatory barriers to export and import. That makes a company a multinational company. There could be very strong cross-cultural and cross-national differences. Other is very high custom duty and high transportation cost. So when conditions are such that global pull factors are weak and regional pull factors are strong, this is a kind of a situation which is very much ideal for organizing a company on a multinational basis. But where global pull factors factors are strong, then the organization can become a global corporations. Now there are differences across cultures when we discuss. हर business operations के all the dimensions they are becoming global in nature. The manager they need to ensure, they need to be aware of the differences, across border differences or the national differences, in order to have a great impact on the management practices. All the purposes they need to be designed for, here the manager must understand themselves how adaptive they are, how adaptive their management practices are to suit the working condition in an international location. So adopting management and control practices across various countries, it is a very complicated process. Now there are three set of factors, primarily three set of factors which have a overall control effects on the control system. The first is the national culture when we talk about. Another is the institution, and the third is the local environment. So in case of a manager of a multinational organization, they are required to adapt their control practices to the set of the unique factors which are faced in each of the operating companies. Now we also discuss transfer pricing. Now transfer pricing of any goods, services or technology ये एक ऐसी situation represent करता है wherein one of the major difference between management control of domestic and overseas operation. When we talk about multinationals, apart from their normal consideration of transfer price, there are several other considerations which are important in decisions relating to the transfer pricing. First is the taxation. When we talk about taxation, income tax they vary among different countries. So a transfer pricing system that results in saving of aggregate income, it is followed. So the companies which are operating in countries where high income tax rates are followed, they will transfer goods and services at a cost price which results in zero profit and consequently no taxes. Another is government regulation. Now companies they may like to follow a model of transfer pricing in such a fashion that will minimize their taxable income in the countries with high income tax rate, but then government and tax authorities they are aware of those methods also, and they have also passed legislation to curb these types of practices. The third is tariffs. When we talk about tariffs, if the high tariffs are there in case of importing companies, it will force the exporting company to set the transfer price at a lower level. But this will result in higher profit for importing company. Fourth is the foreign exchange control. Most of the developing countries they exercise foreign exchange control in any of the ways. In some countries the profits they are not fully repatriable. The domestic currency it is not convertible and it sees the cess is less levied on the foreign exchange only. The fifth one is the fund accumulation. Now due to political and economical risk, the holding company they may not wish to park much of its fund in the subsidiary company also. The last is the joint venture. In case of joint venture, when we discuss the economic interest of the joint venture partners, they need to be kept in mind while deciding and setting up of the transfer price. Now the transfer price they should not be detrimental to the economic interest of the joint venture partner. Now transfer pricing for an affiliate of a multinational company. The difference in the economic variable between the host and the home country affects the setting of the transfer pricing that we've just discussed. In addition to this, there are other variables which are affected by two factors. पहला factor है the transfer price to an affiliate in a country is facing a high inflation, it may set a relatively higher level in order to offset the effects. The second is the companies, those who have set up new affiliates in the host country. They may set up transfer price which are relatively lower in order to capture the market share. Since most of these multinational companies, they are basically based in USA and Europe, it is worthwhile to examine that the methods that these multinational companies they follow, they are based in USA and Europe only. Now there are in USA, when we talk about section 482 of the Internal Revenue Code IRC is followed, and the same has been recommended by the Organization for Economic and Development OECD for all the European countries. Now IRC has specified 3 acceptable ways in which transfer pricing among affiliates can be determined. The first way is of comparable uncontrolled price method, or the market price method. What happens under this method? The firms, they set the transfer price among all its affiliates to conform to the market price of all the similar goods and services which are determined in the market transaction. The reference transaction here should not be a distress sale that represent unrealistic low or marginal price. Here the transfer price, it should be equal to the price paid in comparable uncontrolled sales plus minus any kind of adjustments that are happening. The second is the resale price method. When we talk under this method, the firm, they estimate an appropriate transfer price for a product. If the product, it becomes an input to another transaction within a reasonable period of time, this final transaction, it has to be an uncontrolled sale. So the transfer price is arrived after the resale price, it is reduced by an appropriate market percentage which is based on the uncontrolled sale by the sale affiliate. Now it is reached as transfer price is reached at applicable resale price minus an appropriate markup plus minus any kind of adjustment. Now when we talk about appropriate markup is equal to the resale price value which is applicable multiplied by the appropriate markup percentage. Now this appropriate markup percentage is nothing but the percentage of gross profit. The last is cost plus method. In this method, transfer price is basically based on cost of producing the product which is calculated as per the accounting standards. Now the transfer price here is equal to the cost plus appropriate markup plus minus any adjustment. Again here the appropriate markup is equal to the cost multiplied by the appropriate gross profit percentage. Now there are exchange rate and management control. When we say exchange rate is defined as a rate is the price of one currency which is relative to the price of the other currency. Now it can be either expressed as the number of units of the home currency to buy another currency, or the number of units of foreign currency to buy 1 unit of the home currency. Now it could also be said a currency is said to be appreciating if the same unit of currency, it can be bought, it can buy more units of the foreign or reference currency. The difference between the real and the nominal exchange, it will become more clearer with the help of one example. Let us take that $1 is equal to 50 rupees. Now at present $1 is equal to rupees 55. Now the prevailing inflation rate during the year in USA was 5% and in India it was 10%. So the purchase power parity theory, it would predict on the basis of inflation and that the dollar, it should have been appreciated by 5%, which means $1 is equal to 52.5. At the spot rate of rupees 55 per dollar, the value of rupee, it has depreciated 4.7%. It is the real depreciation in value, right? So after any kind of adjustment for interest rate differential between USA and India, the real exchange rate would be for $1 52.35. So the impact of real exchange rate, it changes, that change creates changes in cost competitiveness of the domestic manufacturer as against its foreign competitors. Now there are different types of exchange rate exposure. क्या होता है? The cash flows in many of the multinational organization, they are in different currencies. तो जो वैल्यू में चेंजेस होते हैं फॉर डिफरेंट करेंसी, दे आर रिलेटिव टू द करेंसी इन विच द होल्डिंग कंपनी प्रिपेयर्स इट्स अकाउंट. नाउ दीज एक्सचेंज रेट फ्लक्चुएशन, दे कैन बी classified as translation exposure. By translation exposure we mean that the risk which is faced by MNC when there are changes in nominal exchange rates. So the cash flow of its MNC and its subsidiary, they are in multiple currencies, and in the accounts of MNCs, they are consolidated. They must be in a single currency, which is usually the home country's currency. Another is the transaction exposure. When we say transaction exposure, it is the exchange rate exposure wherein the firm it faces in the cross-border transaction. Lastly is the economic exposure. It is the exchange rate exposure of the firm's cash flow to the real exchange rate changes. When we talk about control system design issue, परफॉर्मेंस को इवैल्यूएट करने के लिए देयर आर सर्टेन फैक्ट्स दैट नीड्स टू बी कंसिडर्ड. तो पहला जो है, सब्सिडरी मैनेजर्स जो है, they should not be held responsible for any translation which are relating to the factors that are not in their control. Second, जितने भी transaction exposure हैं, they are best handled by the parent company. Third, the subsidiary managers जो होते हैं, उनको responsible करना चाहिए for their dependence which is in effect of the exchange rate. Then fourth is the decision to locate or relocate a subsidiary in a particular country. These are the factors and effect of translation or transaction and economic exposure. When we talk about special issues in MNC, जितने भी multinational companies हैं, those who have their own or operate their businesses in multiple countries, they are important institutions of any kind of trade and commerce. तो जो मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज होती हैं, टू अ लार्ज एक्सटेंट वो बहुत ज़्यादा सिमिलर होती हैं डोमेस्टिक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के, क्योंकि बोथ दीज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन देयर इज अ डिग्री ऑफ सेपरेशन ऑफ ओनरशिप एंड कंट्रोल. Here what happens, the authority is delegated to the large number of decision makers. These decision makers, they are the managers, and the control is exercised through the financial results. क्योंकि multinational corporations के managers, they are very much trained, so they do better and they have better and desirable practices which are used in the foreign companies. We say that most of the MNCs, they evaluate the managers of the foreign operations in term of their home currency. तो वो क्या underlying reasons होते हैं? पहला reason है कि home country की currency, it is the unit of measure in which the corporate financial objectives are stated. Second क्या है? It is the currency in which most of the shareholders, they would be investing. The third, it becomes the unit of measure to evaluate the top managers. Now when we say कि MNCs के case में, they decide to evaluate the performance of their subsidiary managers. Now there are certain methods that could be used. जो पहला method है वो है they evaluate the manager in terms of their local currency profit as compared to the plans and budgets which are denominated in the local currency. The second way is they treat the foreign exchange gains or losses as the income statement line for which the manager is accountable. Thirdly, they evaluate the managers in terms of profits which is measured in the home country, but at the same time calculate a foreign exchange variations also. Lastly, they convert the home currency budget for all their subsidiaries in the local currency using the end of year. There are two exercises that needs to be done. How do cross-cultural differences across nation they alter the management control system? And lastly, explain the reasons for manipulation of transfer price by the MNCs and their effect. Thank you and have a nice day. Keep learning and relearning.